Okay, Ramblers, let's get rambling.
Hey everybody,
Hi, Dr. Nick.
Some Dumb Guy here, and welcome to episode 16 of SumDumWatch, documenting... leg cramp. Hi. We now return to our regularly scheduled programming already in progress. Welcome to episode 16 of SumDumWatch, documenting my viewing experiences from my physical media library and my theatrical attendances. And this is for the week of January 6th through January 12th. And let's dive in. We got a blend here this week. I decided I had a hunkering to watch my 4K of Batman Begins. Hot take? This is the only film in this particular trilogy that's worth a damn. That's right. I said it. This is the best. This is my favorite. I will fight anybody on that one. I will stand my ground 100%. Take Heath Ledger out of The Dark Knights. You got an absolute shit movie. You do. You've got a movie that has poor pacing. You know what? I watched Batman Begins. I love this movie. I think it looks great on 4K. I like to rewatch it on a regular basis. The end. Next up. I watched this because I've been going through a very long-term internal debate. Imprint has released a Blu-ray collection, The Blair Witch Project and Book of Shadows Blair Witch 2. I think it's about $48 on a couple sites that I've seen in the $40 to $50 range. It's a limited edition. I know how Blair Witch was shot. It's a movie that will never look great, either in a theater or in home video. Book of Shadows is a crap movie. It's utter has no redeeming qualities, other than one of the cast being quite fetching. I have the Blair Witch Project on a standard Blu-ray. I have Book of Shadows on DVD because it came in a 2-pack on DVD that I bought at Suncoast way back in 2005 or 6. And that was the first time I'd ever seen it and hated it, but I already own it. Okay, whatever. Blair Witch Project I absolutely love. So I've been going through this debate within myself. Do I buy this? If I buy it, it's for the potential maybe slight quality increase for the Blair Witch Project and an upgrade for Book of Shadows, which I don't like and will never watch again probably anyway. Which leads a mid-40s to mid-50s, whatever, investment for one single film. And at best, I might get a minimal uptake in quality for a film that really can't do much to get any better because of the way it was shot. I don't think I ever watched the Blu-ray I already owned. I think the last time I had seen the film was when I was still on DVD. So I decided, you know what? Let me pop this Blu-ray in. Let me watch it. See where I stand with that. To try to lead some kind of credence to one side of the argument or the other. So, but anyway, this is my own homemade 2-pack as I do my thing. My long-term viewers are aware of. Took the DVD and from my 2-pack, original 2-pack, as well as my single Blu-ray and put them together, made my own little deal here. This is the result. This is my space-saving measure. And I watched the Blair Witch Project. Doesn't look great. Doesn't look better than DVD. I don't know. It's been too many years since I watched it. It looks fine for what it is. How it's supposed to be made. What it's presented as. Perfectly fine. And I guess ultimately decided for me, I decided, you know what? I'm going to stick with what I have. I'm going to take my money that I would have spent on that. I'm going to put it elsewhere in expanding my library in more productive ways. That imprint collection is too expensive. It's not worth the investment. It's got too many bells and whistles and things that I just don't need or care about. So taking that $50 or so, whatever, and building more of this stuff I actually want or need or can make use of in a more productive way. Next up, new entry from a Frank Capra at Columbia collection. This comes from the first of the 2 packs out of this box set. I watched Ladies of Leisure. And this film stars Barbara Stanwyck, and for some reason, I don't know why, Ralph Graves gets 3rd billing on the cover here, despite this being more his movie than Lowell Sherman, which I'm assuming this guy here plays his friend, agent, business associate. And yeah, he's hardly in the film at all. I don't know why he got higher billing. When I read up, this is Barbara Stanwyck's 4th film, 1930, and the film that made her a star. She was very lovely, very happy with her performance overall. This was a touching tale on many levels. Reminded me of Pretty Woman. The title, Ladies of Leisure, some subject matter that's discussed in the film led me to believe that, and I'm pretty sure this is pre-code Hollywood. I wondered if they were trying to allude subtly that Barbara Stanwyck's character was a prostitute. Not sure. Doesn't matter. It's not crucial. If she wasn't, she was I'll just call it party girl for hire or party girl for prestige, there to class up the joint, so to speak, bringing her into parties to up the attractive female quota or whatever the case may be, to provide arm candy for the male guests, something to that effect. I don't know. Point being, didn't matter. Enough was alluded to as far as who she was, the life that she was living, to put her in a role that was perfectly suitable. So I enjoyed that movie a lot. I've become a pretty solid fan of Ralph Graves throughout these Frank Capra films. This, I believe, was I want to say the 6th film in this collection so far, and he has starred in 4 out of the 6. So obviously he had a really great working relationship with Frank Capra, and from what I understand, he didn't do too much as far as continuing in the talkie film realm after he left the silent era. So I might be approaching the end of his tenure, so to speak, which is a shame, because he seemed to do perfectly fine in both departments as far as I was concerned. I will be saddened to see him go. Next up, I'm pairing this one up now for obvious reasons. This would be the first time I've ever watched Double Indemnity. And I've had this film now for somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 months to a year. We star Fred McMurray, whom I did not know prior to this, and Barbara Stanwyck again. This is a role for her. This was 1944, so we're looking at 14 years later. I don't really care for her as a blonde. I could tell you that. She was a brunette in Ladies of Leisure, and that was definitely far more fitting to her appearance, even in black and white, than the blondness. I enjoyed this. Now, what I need to do is a little bit of homework, because as I'm watching this, for the first time, I think I might have gotten the impression or an understanding that this is what film noir is. But what I don't know is if this is actually film noir. I got a film noir tone and vibe from it, but now I need to see if I can actually match that to the genre, because my knowledge, I've never seen a film noir film. I have 2 Kino Lorber film noir collections for American, and I have 3 British film noir collections, also from Kino Lorber, that I need to explore the genre on. I might have inadvertently started here, and I need to find that out. Cool thing, as a side note on this release, I found out after I finished watching it, not only does it have the 1944 film, but there is also, as a bonus, a 1973 made-for-TV remake of this, starring Richard Crenna, of all people. So I'm going to be checking that one out, but I enjoyed this, and I will watch the remake at some point in the future and see what's what. Next up, we have a rewatch. This will be the last film on my list. This is a recent Kino Lorber 4K upgrade from my previous DVD, which I was finally able to do away with. And this is from 1997. We have Face Off. John Travolta, Nicolas Cage. I know I talked about this in last week's episode. I hadn't finished it. I did finish it after a recording, and this movie is so over the top. It's crazy. It's fun. I never get enough of it. Call this a follow-up to an unboxing of mine not too long ago, and a dilemma solved. I have begun and now am on season 2 of my 4K release of the complete series of Seinfeld. Picture quality is improved after the first season, particularly the pilot episode, but that started off a little bit rough. Now it's pretty clean. Nice to see the original aspect ratio, which was one of the big selling points of this, other than the legitimately or illegitimately promoted FOMO of, hey, guess what? The 4K, this is the only way you can get OAR, and it's also a limited edition, so buy it now, despite the price tag. I did. So far, I'm not regretting it. I am 6 episodes into season 2 at the moment. I just, within the last half hour or so, finished The Chinese Restaurant, which a lot of people say was the first really good, solid episode of the show. I will go one step further and detract from that and say the previous episode, The Jacket, is probably where things really got started. That episode, for me, I really get a kick out of every single time I watch. So The Jacket and The Chinese Restaurant, back-to-back episodes 5 and 6, season 2, are a great double whammy, and I love it. Last but not least, you know it, you love it, Star Trek Enterprise complete series. Very close to finishing season 3 at the moment. I have an episode and a half, essentially, at this point. I'm still having the same problem of passing out as soon as I get this started, so I get a few minutes in here and there, and then I'm promptly unconscious. I like the finale of this particular season. It's got some really great space battle effects sequences that we've never seen in Star Trek prior to this, and I think they're done very, very well. And it's very engaging, and it's a very tense season finale, I think. So weird how it spun off into its next thing the way it started season 4, but that's irrelevant. Loving it, continuing to watch it. That's it. Episode 15 of SumDumWatch concluded. See you next week, boys and girls. Thanks for joining me once again. What did you watch this week? Have you watched anything that I have? Got any thoughts, opinions? Use the word box below, because there's crickets chirping and we don't like the crickets. Make words happen, please.